Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, the #1 YouTube channel to help you level up your communication skills, learn the art of public speaking, social skills, and digital content creation to take your message to the world. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit subscribe right on below for the latest videos regarding how you can communicate with confidence. For today's episode, I'm going to be sharing one big mistake that you're making in your communication. Now, before I share this mistake, I want to share a life law with you. And once you can understand this life law, what's going to happen is this mistake is going to begin to make more and more sense. The life law is that the body controls the mind and the mind controls the body. The body controls the mind and the mind controls the body. Got it? Okay, well, keep that in mind. Now, the mistake that you're making is, in many conversations, you're speaking like this and you don't really know what you want to say. You're speaking, but not. Your voice isn't understandable. It's not clear. It's not concise. You're either mumbling, you have a soft tone, you're stuttering a lot because of self-doubt. Who knows? But ultimately, you don't have a clear voice. Now, what happens from not having a clear voice? What happens? It doesn't just stop with you, but it just begins with you. What happens next is when you speak like this and you say something that no one ever hears, what happens next is the other person, you know what they're going to do? They're going to ignore you. And when they ignore you, you know what you're going to do? You're going to be like, well, was it something I said? Well, am I not entertaining enough? Am I not informative enough? You're going to think thoughts like that. And what happens when you think thoughts like that is that it hurts your confidence for the next social interaction. So the level of self-doubt that you have in this interaction, you're going to carry it with you in the next social interaction, and you're going to continue talking like this. You don't want to do something like that. There's a lot of psychological barriers that you create when you speak like that. And here's the thing. You may be wondering, well, why do I speak like that? What is the main reason that I'm speaking with such hesitancy? Well, I want you to understand something about the communication. It's either on or it's off. It's either on or it's off. It's like a light switch. A light switch can't be on and off at the same time, right? If you put it in the middle, what's going to happen? It's either going to go up or it's going to go down. In the social world, if you try to stay in the middle, it's always going to go off. What do I mean by that? So picture a light switch. Picture the social light switch. Either you're speaking with pure confidence or you're not saying anything at all. On, off. What happens to many people is when they have a lot of the psychological mental blocks, they try to stay in the middle. And middle is a no-no for the social world. Why? Because now you want to be on, you want to talk, but a part of you is thinking, oh, well, what if I say something dumb? What if the other person doesn't laugh? What if the other person doesn't talk back to me? So you want to be off and on at the same time. And when you try staying in the middle, you start talking like this. Hesitancy is one of the worst things that you can have in the social world, and hesitancy is going to take the power out of your message. I don't care if you found the cure for the worst disease in the world. If you are delivering it with hesitancy, other people are going to be hesitant towards you. They're going to be hesitant towards you, fam. And here's what's happening. Earlier, I gave you a life law that the body controls the mind and the mind controls the body. Well, when you have that level of hesitancy, you have so much doubt in your mind that it is affecting your physical movements. It is affecting your voice. And a hesitant voice just puts a lot of doubt in the air. Is that the kind of energy that you want to put out in the world? Or would you rather put out energy filled with confidence, assuredness? It can't be both. It really can't be both. So you have to understand it's either on or off. On or off. Now, I told you the life law. I'm going to keep on saying it throughout this video so it's hammered into your mind. The body controls the mind, and the mind controls the body. Well, guess what? We can't always control the mind. The mind is something that we don't really even have a clear grasp of what it looks like. So how are we going to control something like that? If you're watching this and you don't meditate, then it's going to be really hard for you to control the mind. But guess what? You can always control the body. The body is something that you can always control. Now here's what happens. When you have the level of hesitancy in your mindset, what happens is your face stiffens up. You start talking like this. I don't know if you ever watch yourself speaking when you're nervous. Unless you have a camera crew following you around, you probably even have no clue. But your face stiffens up and you look like this. You look very robotic. And when your face stiffens up, guess what happens next? Your mouth stiffens up, so you speak with less movements. It becomes less animated. And when the mouth becomes less animated, what happens is you have less oxygen flowing through. And the less oxygen, the more you throw off the speaking patterns. Your body starts to cramp up a little bit more. Your shoulders, I'm assuming, starts hunching, you start slouching. And when you start hunching and slouching, your lungs become 30% less effective, and less effective lungs lead to shorter breaths, and shorter breaths lead to anxious thoughts. Analyze your time whenever you're anxious. I guarantee you, your thoughts shorten up. So what should you do? Well, this is the hack, my friend. Get ready. You loosen up your mouth. I guarantee you, when you're speaking like this, you're barely saying any words. Your mouth is very small. You're not giving each word the respect that it deserves. So what you have to do, you have to control your body. You have to consciously control your mouth. Now, how do you control your mouth? That sounds like a very weird thing to say. Pause. But it is. It sounds like a very weird thing to say, but you have to stretch out your mouth. You gotta loosen it up. But you may not even know how to loosen it up in the first place because you don't really understand the muscles in your mouth. So what you should be doing is you should be getting a book, like Level Up Mentality, but any book will do. And you start reading out loud. I don't know if you know this, but old school scholars, they used to read out loud. Reading with your mind is something relatively new. Believe it or not, it is true, by the way. But you open up a book of the Level Up Mentality, resting like a champion. In order to play for the long run, you need to work and rest. But you notice when you start reading out loud, you are now taking your voice to the gym. You are consciously, with intent, focusing on loosening up your mouth. And when you loosen up your mouth, you get more oxygen flowing through. The airways are able to flow with ease. And when you can do that, now your body is starting to control your mind. Smile more. Open up your body language more. Stand straight. Walk with pride. Control your body as much as you can, and I guarantee you, your mental blocks are going to start to melt away and you're going to feel more confident in the social interaction. But start with the mouth. The mouth is by far one of the most important things that you can do. By loosening it up, your face loosens up as well, and the more that your face loosens up, the more expressive that you become and the more confident that you become in the grand scheme of things in terms of social interactions. This is a mega key, so I want you to try that out today. My main call to action for you is to get a book and read it out loud. Keep on doing this. Keep on taking your voice to the gym, and soon you're going to start having power behind your words. It's either going to be on or off, but you will be allergic to middle ground territory. That's not how you roll. That's not how you were meant to roll. And that's not how you're going to roll from here on out. On or off. Simple. If you're someone who needs help with getting a strong voice, if you're someone who is struggling with this, you have either mumbling issues, you have a soft voice, you speak with a lot of self-doubt, then I want to help you. I want you to get in touch with me where we can have a one-on-one conversation to further analyze exactly what is going on. I can give you all the tips in the world, but ultimately I need to be able to talk to you to see exactly what's holding you back in your personal life. In order to get in touch with me, go on over to the description box and you'll see a link where you can sign up for a completely free strategy call. In this call, I'm going to help you analyze exactly where you are, exactly where you need to be. I'm going to help you design the plan that will get you from point A to point B. Make sure, if you need the help, you go to the description box and fill out your form, and stay tuned for your email because that's where I'll be contacting you in. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's episode and hopefully it helps you out and you execute. Keyword, execute. Thank you, and I appreciate you for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next Armani Talks YouTube episode.